My belly is full.
Dude, that was so good, man. Oh my God, that vegetable soup. I literally called up my dad and I was like, I just crushed some vegetable soup. John's mom made some delicious food. Big win for my Falcons last night, man. Big win. I mean, against the Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl contenders. Going into that game, I was scared shitless. I was nervous. I mean, you know, couldn't be happier today. Could not be happier. Look at that defense, right? The defense is the only thing this year that's been consistent, along with like Bijan Robinson. There's been questions about Penix. Drake London, we know who he is, but I feel like the rest of the world doesn't. There's been a question mark above his head. Is this guy legit? Is this guy elite? You know?
And I think there's more to be said about him being elite than not.
Yes.
And I think most of the struggles the Falcons had in a couple games they struggled had to do with, I think, quarterback play. And that's going to be something like Penix is going to have to – there's going to be ups and downs.
With the young quarterback.
The season's a journey. You're going to have downs, but from what we saw last night, kind of getting on the same page with the offensive coordinator. You mentioned
Zach Robinson, offensive coordinator, being up in the skybox, moving down to the field. So he did that last week. We look great, right? We put up 30 points. This week, we do it again. We put up, 24? So we're putting up points, and more importantly, we're moving the ball down the field.
Oh, you're turning up yards, dude.
Yeah, I mean, so you see Bijan, and we were talking about this, the strength.
Yeah, dude, let's talk about Bijan Robinson.
Seriously,
for a second.
Like the strength it takes for this guy to be running up the sideline, right? And you're about to step out of bounds. You know, you're tiptoeing on the sideline, and a linebacker, a 260-pound guy, is coming up, grabbing you by the waist, the legs, right? Coming at you. He's trying to grab you, and you're just moving forward like it's a toddler.
Yep.
Right?
Bouncing off you. It's like where he stands, he doesn't move. Like the Madden circle. You can never knock him off of his plane.
Yeah.
He's just always upright. The strength in his hips and his core is second to none. I mean, the only person you could probably say is Saquon and Derrick Henry. I mean,
agree.
In terms of
I agree. Having that strength, that
like
lower body strength, like you said, core, where other grown men are coming at you and you're pushing them off. Get off me. Get off me. You're moving forward almost at full speed. And when you're not, dude, what I love about Bijan is the awareness and then the cuts. Like, bro, it's like he's doing it. Like, it's like he's practicing with a blindfold on. You know what I mean?
At his size, to be able to manufacture the cuts at full speed, but then to be at full speed out of the cut, like immediately.
It's amazing.
Dude.
It's amazing.
He might be the best back in the league.
And there's another guy right there. The 1-2 punch, Algier, right? Beginning of the game, we score a touchdown. Now look at this. Ready? So we have Bijan in motion, okay? Now look at this. Algier scores the touchdown. You know why?
Yeah.
The whole defense is focused.
Take that back.
Yeah. The whole defense. Look, you're focusing in on Bijan. The defense is moving with Bijan. Look. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Look. No, untouched. Tyler Algier, untouched. And this is a guy that could probably start on 20 teams in the league. You know.
Yeah, dude, he's a house.
Great player.
You got a little Samoan in him with them tattoos?
He might be, man. They have a little, meme of him. He's doing, the Crash Bandicoot. The tuta. Yeah. Dude, it's great, man.
Don't mess with the Samoans.
No, they have, dude. They're great guys, good personalities, and that's something that I think is bringing this offense together too.
Yeah.
All of them, like Penix being a leader, them all having leader mentality, and yeah, man. So that 1-2 punch right there, that's special. It truly is. That's special right there. So that for last year I seen it, and moving on this year, that's one thing I believe in. You know what I mean? No Jake Matthews in this game, so we lost our left tackle, somebody that has been with us for years. He was the left tackle for us in 2016 when we went to the Super Bowl, right? I know, 28-3, I get it. I know it's coming, all right? But yeah, so Jake Matthews at left tackle. We didn't have him yesterday, right? We're missing him. Okay. It's like you don't miss a step, even without a guy like him, against this Buffalo Bills defense with Ed Oliver back. You want to talk about an impact player. And listen, he played good. It's not like he played bad or anything. We just got the best of that defense yesterday. We really did. Great game plan. Another impact player, by the way, A.J. Terrell coming back off injury.
That was huge.
Yeah, man. So you had Mike Hughes. You had D. Alford these last couple weeks because A.J. missed 2 weeks, right? So you had Mike Hughes, you had D. Alford. And what I seen yesterday really, I don't want to say surprised me, but put it like this. It made me happy watching what I seen because what I seen was D. Alford get an interception. Mike Hughes have 6 tackles, right? They're playing man-to-man. They're in zone. They look great. Yeah. They look great. They're all over the field. A.J., Keon Coleman catches a ball, no room to move. But most of the time, he's so stuck to Keon Coleman like glue that Keon Coleman's not even getting many receptions out there.
Yeah.
So A.J. looked good, but more importantly, you're nervous about not having your number one cornerback. And these 2 guys, along with accompanying A.J. Terrell, it was phenomenal.
Yep.
To see the 3 of them play well, led the game in tackles, Mike Hughes and D. Alford. And then right before the half, that interception, like I was saying, D. Alford right before the half, momentum swing, change your momentum. That was big. Love to see it. So, yeah, man, this defense looks good. I love the consistency week to week. I want to see that with the offense because Michael Penix, like you said, you're going to have ups and downs. He's young. Bijan, we know what he is. Tyler Algier, we know what he is. Drake London played phenomenal without a Ray McLeod, right? Without a Darnell Mooney, okay? So you're missing your 2 receivers, okay? You only have Drake London, and complementing Drake London is pretty much a Kyle Pitts along with your 2 backs. I mean, you don't have much to work with. You're thinking, but then you step out there on the field. You get out there on the field, and you're making it happen. The guy had 16 targets, Drake London, all right? 16 targets, 10 catches with, I don't have the stats in front of me, but like 160 yards. And it could have been, you seen also right before the half, what could have been 2 touchdowns. He had the 1 touchdown where he reaches out the ball on some Space Jam, you know what I mean? Reaches the ball out and scores, and they're coming at it, trying to swipe away at the ball. Whoop!
Yeah.
It was beautiful. I loved it. But yeah, it could have been 2 touchdowns, but he has the 1 touchdown on the game. Drake London looked good, looked phenomenal. And that's what I thought, talking to you early in the season, before the season started, right? When we're talking about fantasy football, I was high on Drake London in fantasy football.
Yep.
And that's coming to fruition now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They started off a little slow, but as a team, we're getting it together.
Yeah.
Me as a diehard Falcons fan, couldn't be happier of what I seen yesterday in that game because the Buffalo Bills, this is a team, MVP Josh Allen, and contenders. You know what I mean? Like people coming into the year, one of the favorites.
Absolutely.
Whereas the Atlanta Falcons, who are the Atlanta Falcons? And that is a serious question to where I think we're starting to get answers.
Absolutely. And you come in prime time after a bye week, which I was telling you yesterday, I feel like for a young quarterback sometimes a bye week early in the season, even though, going down the stretch now, you got a lot of time where, guys aren't getting, you have a full stretch of games now where you got to stay healthy. You got to, rehab and you got to get, keep your body healthy. No bye week now, all the way into the playoffs if you get there. But for a young quarterback to kind of like struggle early a little bit, show some stuff, but struggle early, but then to like regroup and come back from a bye week early in the year, like I feel like that can really jumpstart his season. And the Falcons season overall. Like
couldn't agree more. That's what I'm hoping for because it came at the right time, if you ask me. Against Buffalo, you know what I mean? It could have. Listen, we had a good win against Washington, right? It was Marcus Mariota at quarterback. You kind of take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
No Jaden Daniels. And you're like, all right, let's see what we got next week. You had the bye week, okay? Now we play Buffalo, like you said. Perfect. I just think it's a perfect time.
It was.
You know what I mean? So now moving forward, can you still stay healthy? I mean, no Darnell Mooney, no Ray McLeod. So you had some injuries.
And now you're in the thick of it after week 5. week 6. Now you're in the thick of it until week 18.
Exactly.
So there's no other. I don't know if they have any other if they have any Thursday games, which they probably do. Which is like a mini bye.
So next week actually, I don't know about Thursday games. I gotta look that up. But Sunday night, dude.
That's and prime time again for the Falcons.
Yeah, which is what our third time this year. That's something. How about that? I mean, it makes me think like, is there something I don't know? Did the league know something that I didn't? Do they? You know what I mean? And I think it's because you have stars all over the offense, but when you look at the defense, in the middle of the field, you got Divine Diablo, right? You have Caden Ellis. We lead the league in blitz percentage. So in sending the blitz, we lead the league, right? We blitz more than anybody else, okay? That being said, I think we have the right guys, okay? Because you have Jalen Walker and James Pierce. Dude, right now, you're putting them in sub packages. They're not like these two names that the world knows are not the reason we're the number one defense in the NFL right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have guys like Divine Diablo, who is in no man's land in Oakland, Las Vegas with the Raiders, right? We signed him. Then a couple years ago, we get Caden Ellis from the Saints, our rival Saints, and he comes in, makes an immediate impact to where he's getting 5 tackles, 6 tackles, 7 tackles, and you're seeing that, and you're like, this guy's a good player, right?
Yeah.
Now, you're kind of like building the defense around guys like him. You know what I mean? Where you can draft a Jalen Walker and say, yo, you know what? We have veterans in Divine Diablo and Caden Ellis that can show them the way. You know? So I love seeing that. And the fact, like we were talking about earlier, right? And you could even pull this up. I'm telling you, we'll show these guys later. Divine Diablo and Caden Ellis will blitz, and then the next play, it'll look like they're blitzing, and they'll drop back in coverage. And that's great to have that athleticism and speed to be able to do that.
100%.
And have the faith in your guys to go and do that.
Yeah.
You know?
And the speed to not only show blitz and drop out of it, but to show blitz actually check the offensive lineman. Like a lot of the times when you're faking a blitz or when you're acting like you're blitzing and you drop out, you're up in there, but then you drop out. These guys are coming in, checking offensive line and dropping back. Like that's speed, that's body control, that's
special talent.
That's special. I think it's special to be able to do that.
Two rare players that under the radar type of guys,
And I haven't seen them get caught in anything bad doing that yet. So
no, we watched the game together last night, and you're pointing out to me certain times like, bro, did you see Divine Diablo? Bro, did you see Caden Ellis on this play? And I'm doing the same to you, where it's like, these two guys are showing up. And then, on the outside at cornerback, like I was saying, not only do you have that with those defensive backs, you have the possible, right now, the favorite to be the defensive rookie of the year, and that's Xavier Watts. He looks phenomenal. Again, looked great last night. 2 interceptions on the year. Billy Bowman didn't play last night, but another good draft pick. He has 1 interception on the year. So 3 between the two of them. Good draft picks. Like I said, Jalen Walker and James Pierce, it's still yet to be seen what they can do. But when they are in, they make a presence. Last night, you see me get hyped. You're like, dude, what's going on? It's special teams, not much going on. I'm like, Jalen Walker got a tackle, bro. Let's go. I'm just happy to see the guy accept that role.
Yeah.
So him being on special teams and accepting that role, that shows me his character more than anything else. And dude, loved it. It
was a commanding tackle too.
It was
ripped off a block and just
like it genuinely right. Like it was a great thing to see. It was a great tackle, and he's accepting that role, being in special teams. So love seeing it. The guy takes Julio's number. He better do something out here. You got Bijan taking Michael Vick's number. This is all driving me nuts seeing all this. So 7, 11, and then as of right now, it seems like the right guys have these numbers. So we'll see what happens, but the consistency is key, and the defense is there. They're proving themselves, and offensively, like we were saying, we know what Bijan is. We know what Drake London is. When you have a Ray McLeod, when you have a Darnell Mooney, you can start involving Kyle Pitts more. Tyler Algier, you can start involving like we just seen. him scoring a touchdown, Tyler Algier.
Yep.
It opens it up for guys like him when you're starting to mix, add these guys to the mix. You don't know what's coming next. And yeah, that's good to see, man. Penix, I think he's the real deal. I love his leadership. I love the quick release. And I think he's got a cannon. He's a gunslinger, dude. Man has a cannon. So that being said, I'm confident in this offense, and this defense is proving themselves right now to be, listen, we only played what? We're 3-2. We played 5 games. So the defense thus far has proved themselves to be a good defense, where they're ranked number 1 in the league. Moving forward, I got faith in them. We'll see what happens, but I got faith in them. I like what I'm seeing in the defense. Yeah, at linebacker. And how about the defensive line, too? Like, pretty much unknowns. Like, on the outside, you have some guys. You have, like, Leonard Floyd and stuff, but who's a veteran. But pretty much unknowns. Zach Harrison, Rook Orororo, right? These are guys who are showing up. And I was nervous about that. I was worried about that. Without Grady Jarrett, who, after Aaron Donald and, like, a Fletcher Cox, he was right up there as the best defensive tackle in the league. So losing a guy like Grady Jarrett, it was worrisome. I was worried about that. We look good on the D-line, and yeah, man. That being said, I think that completes the defense. And yeah, man, we look good on defense. Hopefully, we can just keep it up. Because consistency, like I keep saying, I can't say it enough, consistency is key, and so far, so good. So we'll see what happens next.
We'll see what I see from the Falcons. You got tough matchup coming up, but unfortunately, what happened to what's his name?
Fred Warner.
I didn't hear anything so far. It might be out already, but I think he's done for the year.
I mean, when you get carted off, it's not a good sign.
I mean, his ankle was going this way.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
I don't see, and that's
I don't
the
root
centerpiece.
For injuries or anything like that.
Yeah.
But again, you're talking about right time, right place. As a Falcons fan, that happened at the right time. Hopefully, we can take advantage of that. But praying for Fred Warner.
Yeah,
that's.
I know, and
I'm a fan of that guy.
100%, and I think that makes the world of a difference in that game, because I think going into that game, look, even after what the Falcons did this week, I think looking at that game with Fred Warner, I'm like, I don't know, but looking at that game without Fred Warner, I'm like, dude, the Falcons should be able to take advantage of that.
I agree.
The way they use Bijan, I mean, like Gruden was saying about how they're very predictable and when they're running the football. Well, guess what? They're doing it anyway, and he's getting almost 200 yards, all-purpose yards. Like, it's all shaping up for the Falcons to really win a lot of games in a row right now.
Yeah,
and I don't want to jinx it or nothing like that, but like they're setting themselves up in a very powerful position right now with that win against the Bills. And one thing you said, it was before last night's game, you said this is the true test. They passed the test with flying colors, and I think going forward now, they are in a position to really climb the ranks in the NFC, take over what's the division right now?
So that's the thing. Ready? Week 1, we lost to the Buccaneers in a close game, man. It was this is what happened. Ready? At the end of the game, we lost to the Buccaneers. Okay. So week 1, we lose to the Buccaneers, and what happened at the end of the game? Younghoe Koo, man, with these field goal problems, right?
Yeah.
We dropped him that week. We cut him that week. We got rid of him, and now we have Parker Romo, who is, you talk about who knows with this guy, right? Who knows what he's going to pan out to be. And going into this game against Buffalo, that's all I'm thinking is no field goals. But we need touchdowns.
Yeah, don't bring it down to a field goal.
We had enough issues with this.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, we got a Matt Bryant, all right? 9 years ago, we got a Matt Bryant, and it doesn't come down to a Matt Bryant. Please, just let's score. Let's win the game. Let's score some touchdowns. Week 1, same thing. It comes down to a Younghoe Koo. We beat Minnesota pretty much with a Parker Romo who went 5 for 5, and that's when we signed him. What we did that week, that Friday, right, after that win, we had pretty much a tryout, right? It was a duel between 3 kickers, and whoever Raheem Morris liked the best. Whoever did the best, he was going to sign as the kicker. Parker Romo won that battle, and we signed him right away. And yeah, we've had him since, and he's been doing good. He did miss a field goal or two in the last 2 weeks. He missed a field goal or two, but he's been perfect on extra points. Who knows with Parker Romo? So yeah, the jury's still out on him, but like I said, it's deeper than that. You wanna score points, and if you can get within the 40, we'll see what happens with Parker Romo. But we got issues, bigger problems with Darnell Mooney coming back, Ray McLeod. I want to see them excel. You know 100%. What I mean? So I want to see that. The offense looks good. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it rolling. Let's go Dirty Birds, baby.
I'm with it.
Let's go Dirty Birds, baby. We look good, man. And like you were talking about, though, how you brought up Bijan, right? How he's getting 200 all-purpose yards, 200 plus, right? All-purpose yards a game. Him being in the pistol, the offense, just running this shotgun/pistol offense, right? Always being out of shotgun or pistol with the quarterback 5 to 7 yards back. It's different. It's different from when you look around the league, you just don't see it. You don't see it, especially when you have a running back as good as Bijan. So for him to be successful in this offense, dude, there's a glimmer of hope where I was like, what are you doing? And just get under center, right?
Yeah.
At first, I'm like, get under center. What are you doing?
Yeah, run some outside zone, run some stretch plays.
Right.
Yeah.
You have the two running backs, but the 1-2 punch.
They do that out of the pistol. The pistol's growing on me. I mean, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but I guess they're making it look good.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you see some other teams incorporating it around the league. I'm trying to think. Just comes straight to my head. I would like to say I've seen the Dolphins do it.
Dude, I was just about to say Miami.
Yeah.
I was about to say I see Miami do it. And you know what is making me think too? Now, I don't know. You could probably tell me better than I can tell you, right? But what's the thing there? 2 lefty quarterbacks. And I don't know if that brings some to the mix because it is just, but I was thinking that before, how it's also 2 different coaches, like with Zach Robinson and what's his name, McDaniel.
Yeah.
So 2 coaches who are ballsy, they'll take risks type of thing where that's the thing. So like I was saying, I'm like, get under center. Now that this is your identity and it's working, don't change.
Yeah.
Like you just had the bye week. You came out of the bye week still playing out of shotgun and pistol.
Yeah.
You got to keep doing what you're doing and
show some wrinkles. You're going to, you know what I mean? Like you want to see the offense evolve.
Right.
You hear all the big names in offensive breakdowns and minds talk about evolving as an offense. You don't want to get stale and just show the same thing all the time. And a lot of the wrinkles that they're going to probably do, like we're not going to necessarily see.
Look at that. There it is. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There it is. That's a great play right there, man. Great throw. And look at that. The never giving up. The never give up attitude in Drake London.
Yep.
And I don't mean to cut you off. And speaking of Parker Romo, there he is. Perfect on extra points. Make your field goals, buddy. Moving forward, make your field goals. Please. God's sakes, please. Make your field goals, man.
But now, I wasn't saying much. I was just saying, you want to see the offense evolve. You want to see them obviously continue to be successful. A lot of the wrinkles that they might put in week to week, we might not, as regular people, we might not see it, or we might not understand how they're incorporating that.
It's just
stuff.
hard to believe they're never under center.
Yeah, it is. As
really
a professional offense, walking into work with a suit and tie is professionalism. You know what I mean?
You'll see it.
When you talk about professionalism in an offense and in the pros, it's being under center. It's seeing those types of things, sets. That's like walking into work with a suit and tie.
Love the comparison.
You know
Perfect.
what I mean?
Yes.
Whereas,
Perfect
it's a little, you might, but that's the thing. Football is football. If it works, if you can get leverage, if you can figure out ways to gain an inch here and there, it doesn't matter what you do. You can have a running back playing quarterback. You can have, you know what I mean? If you're gaining leverage, that's all that matters. So, dude, that's what I'm saying. If they could just keep evolving as an offense in this pistol, because they have a lot. I love what I was seeing last night. The motion, you were saying earlier, the motion from Bijan. Bijan's coming out lining up as a receiver, which a lot of teams do that with their running backs, but they don't always motion them back in. They're not always just motioning them back in. Let's see what the coverage is. They're leaving them out there. They're sending them in motion across the formation.
Right.
They got both backs in. You know what I'm saying? So he's a threat to run some routes as a receiver. He's a threat to run some wide stretch plays out of jet motion, and he's a threat to just be eye candy to the defense.
Yes,
moving him
that's
around.
What we just showed with Tyler Algier. That's what we've seen with Tyler Algier play. And it takes a special player to do what you just said. Like, you see that with like a Christian McCaffrey.
You see that with him.
You know what I mean? They used to do it more with Kamara. You don't see it as much because they're trying to figure things out over there.
Yeah.
But there's certain players that you see it with, and it takes a special player to do that because it's not going to work unless you're all eyes on this. A threat.
You have to be
all eyes on this man. Yeah. Wherever. He's moving. He's in motion. You know.
Yep.
And you're going like that. You know what I mean? You're looking back and forth. You're looking all over the. Now you're scanning as a defense, right? You're scanning the offense. You're going, come on, what's going on?
Yeah. You know? I can't just lock into something because I know that this running back isn't gonna run a route. You can't just you can't fall asleep. You got to be aware all the time of where he's at, and he's a threat wherever he's at. It's not just eye candy, but the fact that it can be used as eye candy, and the fact that it can be used, what's the word? The fact that they can capitalize off of it too.
Yeah, it's right. Like a decoy, and then is he a decoy? They're questioning it.
Yes.
Is he a decoy? And come on, man.
He's not.
Right.
But he is.
Because you have a guy in Tyler Algier. Like, I don't want to keep pounding that, but I'm saying.
No, that's the key points of the offense right now.
You could have traded him. You could have traded Algier and got some good draft picks. You could have, and you didn't because you had an offensive game plan in mind long term.
Yeah.
I see it now, and that's what I'm trying to say is early in the season, we lost 30-0 to the Carolina Panthers, and you're like, get under center. You're yelling at the TV, saying, you're going, get under center. What are you doing? Right? Yep. And
natural.
Yeah. But now you're seeing things work.
Yeah.
And there was a glimpse of it, in the past, but it's like it was not consistent.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see moving forward is the consistency that I keep bringing up. It's the consistency because the defense looks good. They're being consistent. They're playing all around fantastic football.
Yes.
Let's keep it up on the 100%. Offensive side of the ball.
Dude, and that's why I was like, I'm kind of upset that Fred Warner's obviously I'm upset that he's hurt.
You don't get a full test.
But I would have loved to have seen what kind of stuff Fred Warner and that defense was going to bring to that attack style of offense that they're running right now. Like, that would have been a real, if they were able to gain leverage on the Niners and that defense, I mean, now we're talking real scary. But now it's just another week. You got to go out and do your job, and I don't know what the rest of their schedule is. We got to look at the.
Yeah, I got to look at the rest of the schedule. Obviously, we know the division.
Yeah.
So you got to because you already lost to the Panthers once, and you lost to the Bucs once.
You got to split with them.
You have to split with them, and say worst comes to worst, you lose one of those games, you better bury the Saints and beat them twice.
Yeah.
You better. Yeah. You seriously, because this is the New Orleans Saints. We're not talking about the Drew Brees New Orleans Saints. We're talking about the Spencer Rattler New Orleans Saints, and I'm not trying to sit here and shit on Spencer Rattler,
right.
but I'm just saying he's not Drew Brees. And the whole team, the team as a whole, like we watched them beat the Giants. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're who are the New Orleans Saints? That's what you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's a must-win situation against the New Orleans Saints. I look at it like that. That's all. I think they were looked at a couple weeks ago as the worst team in the league, and you had like a win against the Giants. All of a sudden, you're like, maybe they're not the worst team in the league.
Yeah,
that's how we're talking about the Saints. And that being said, let's go out there and let's beat the New Orleans Saints.
100%. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's the thing about the NFL too. And I talk about this all the time with my girlfriend's dad.
Right.
And dude, totally on the same page. And he always says this, and when we started talking, I'm like, wow, dude, I see it the exact same way. And a lot of people that cover football don't lead with this understanding, and they might understand it, but the difference from the best team in the NFL to the worst team in the NFL is the gap from the top to the bottom is like this. Whereas in college, it's like the top is here and they're going to blow out the bottom by 78 points.
Yeah, like the spreads will be 24.5.
Yes.
In the NFL, it's going to be 7.5, 1 touchdown.
Exactly, and that's a great visual of that. But then in the game, when you watch the games, it's like the reason why you get teams that blow other teams out. It's not because the other team is so bad. It's because the level of play is so good that the littlest mistake becomes 30 points. The littlest mistakes, the littlest things become 30 points of the difference in the NFL because they're just that good. And that's the beautiful thing. That's why I love watching the NFL is because you get the worst team in the league playing the best team in the league, and it's still any given Sunday. Like, you got the Bengals playing. Who the Bengals playing?
Well, they just played the Packers. And the Packers gave 12.5 points just to bring it back to that, right? When it comes to giving points and seeing, all right, I have an idea for this team being way better than this team. That's a lock. They're giving 12.5. They're going to win by 3. Not like that in the NFL.
It's not like that.
It's just not like that. They gave 12.5. Guess who wins? If you bet Cincinnati, you win because they covered the 12.5.
Absolutely. And we're not saying like, all right, sometimes you're going to get the better team against a lot worst team, and they're going to blow them out. That happens. 100%. It happens, but
not as often.
But yeah, if you take the worst team against the best team, it might be 75-80%.
Dude, yes.
I mean, it's not 100%. They're gonna, and if you do that in college, even if you take a top team versus towards the bottom, it doesn't have to be like top and bottom. I mean, in college, you're looking at, damn near 95%. Like, the better team is going to win.
I would say higher than 95%.
Yeah, dude, it's like automatic.
It's almost a lock. Like, if a team's given, why do you think Penn State is getting blown up right now? Right? We're talking about that, like the UCLA game and stuff, because it's so rare. It's so rare. It doesn't happen.
Yep.
Right?
Whereas in the NFL, you're over it in a couple of days. Like, oh yeah, the Saints upset whoever. It's like
look at this. Speaking of, just look at this real quick. We brought this up before. You got this guy. Now watch this. After this, ready? So look at these cuts.
Oh, dude.
All right, nice little jump cuts. Now look, you got a guy. Come on, a grown man that he's pushing off like he's a kid.
Like he's a little kid, dude.
Right. Like,
on the sideline.
Yeah.
He doesn't have this much room to get off balance.
Yeah, it's like the steps on you barely like. It's like it's like, get off me. What are you doing?
Look at this.
Look at that. Brilliant. Come on, man.
Nope, I'm just going to keep running straight.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep running straight.
Yeah, not even.
Get off me.
Bro, not even a tiptoe situation. Like I'm saying, for most running backs, they're going to be up.
Yeah.
He wasn't affected by it.
You're going to see the midsection break a little bit because you have to save your balance.
If that's a Chase Brown, he might be stepping out of bounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he just can't. Look at the balance there. The
it's
footwork,
incredible.
The strength.
Yep. And then here you go. There's the tackle from
the
rookie.
Jalen Walker.
That's
man.
beautiful. Is he gonna replay this? He better friggin' replay this.
If not, we will. Let's run it back because I loved seeing this last night. There's a guy accepting his role, first round pick.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, all right. We can't be upset about that. Oh, almost grabbed him in his nut.
Yeah, come on. Look at this. No wonder they're in Buffalo. They should be in Canada. These guys. Come on, get them out of the country after that one.
He's freaking huge, this dude. Oh my god.
Love it.
Nuts. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at this, though. The personality, how we were talking about Bijan, just him, that personality, his character. The first thing after a post-game interview, he brings up God. I love it.
Me too.
Look at that. The leadership of going to each guy on the sideline. Great, man. Good to see. Look at Jalen all hype. That was me rooting for him. Look, here it is.
Oof. I mean, that's we got to see the whole thing.
That's a beauty.
We got to see the whole thing. Comes in like a bat out of hell.
There's like no one else on the field. It's him. I'm coming for you, bro. Like, I'm thinking him lining up back there with his mindset. Lined up off the kick. Like, as soon as he's ready.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's great.
How do we feel about that?
That's some good stuff, man. And next week, the fact that we play the 49ers, no Fred Warner, and then we have a guy like Chardavius Ward that is on the Colts right now, dude. I think I think he's one of the most underrated cornerbacks in the league. So just to turn to the AFC real quick, I think the Colts look fantastic, as the world knows, right? The Colts look great, 5-1, they look good. A guy that isn't now. Everybody knows who Jonathan Taylor is, but still, till this day, I feel like, you talk about the Bijans, you talk about the Saquons. Jonathan Taylor's not like brought up in the mix. But if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor's the real deal. Daniel Jones looks good, but on that defensive side of the ball, you have some dogs and you have some players that they made some good moves, like picking up a Chardavius Ward and stuff like that. So the Colts look good. The Patriots, your Patriots, who you called outright to beat the Bills, right? We were on the phone for about an hour, right? You said Hunter Henry's going to bury them up the seam. Okay, I took Hunter Henry over 40 yards in that game. Winner. You told me Stephon Diggs. I'm like, dude, I don't know. They're playing Buffalo. You got to worry about Tre'Davious White. No, Stephon Diggs had 150 yards himself, right? When do you see that, first of all, as a receiver?
Yeah.
So you called that. Great call with that Pats game, that Pats-Bills game. We were all over that Dolphins game against the Bills as well. But back to these teams being the best teams in the AFC. The Bills are one of them. Falcons with a great win last night. But you have the Patriots. You have the Colts. You have the teams we all know are great, the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to be there every year.
Chiefs.
Right now, the Steelers look good, but I think they still have, what did we have? They played what, Cleveland? Yeah, so They had a good win against Cleveland. Cleveland, again, just traded their quarterback. They're playing a guy, Dylan Gabriel, in his second week, a rookie. That was their quarterback going into the game against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, to me, Aaron Rodgers looks fantastic. He's looking like the old A-Rod. He looks good, but I wouldn't credit everything to him. The defense looks good. They look good. It was good trading for DK Metcalf.
Absolutely.
They look good, but I don't put them as right now. I think the Patriots had some better wins. I think the Colts had some better wins, just looking more consistent. But definitely, I put Pittsburgh up there along with the Chiefs. Buffalo, you can't count out, even though they might have had a loss yesterday. Falcons might be the real deal. Who knows? We'll see. But you can't count out Buffalo, even though I must say, don't love the receiving core on Buffalo. Like, yes, Mike Hughes, the Alford, AJ Terrell showed up yesterday, but I do not love the fact that it's like you got rid of Diggs and your guy is Keon Coleman, and he's getting, like, where's your head at, man?
Yeah.
He's getting suspended every other week. So he missed a couple games this year from team suspensions. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, you got that going on. A speedy Khalil Shakir, which I always like. I'm a fan of Shakir, but how far is that going to take you? An undersized, speedy receiver. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, who's going to show up when it actually matters? Whereas with the Chiefs, like, Josh Allen's going to run, take matters into his own hands. But with Kansas City, Hollywood Brown scored yesterday. You got Rashee Rice, you got these guys, Travis Kelce, Hall of Famers on the field in Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. And what Patrick Mahomes is doing, running the ball this year, man, it's special, man. I think he looked around the league and he's seen the way he lost a Super Bowl, too, against the Eagles. And he's seen guys like Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen get it done with their legs the way he did in college at times. And don't get me wrong, he has in the NFL, too, but he's right up there now.
Yeah.
If you look statistically, he's right up there with these guys when it comes to rushing yards.
Yeah.
So, dude, I think he's looking around the league and he's like, how can I get this done any way possible?
Yep.
And he's doing so. He's doing that. Yeah, man, I'm confident in the Chiefs when it comes down to it. Spags, Andy Reid, you can go on. You know what I mean? Coaching wise and just legacies, Hall of Fame.
And that's why they'll always be there.
Right.
They are just a staple.
Who else?
They're just experienced.
Who else? Right. Who else is there?
The Chargers.
Chargers look good. This is the thing.
All
with
the
Chargers.
same division.
Broncos. How about that?
Yeah.
You got three teams in the same division. That's interesting. How that's going to pan out.
How they're all
got to play each other twice.
Now the Chiefs are 3-3 now.
Are they 3-3?
I think the Chiefs are 3-3. I think the Broncos might be 3-3.
Wait, time out.
4-2.
Are the Chiefs 3-2?
They didn't have a bye.
They didn't have the bye. Okay, so the Chargers are 3-2.
Chargers had a bye. Did they have a bye last week?
So you're telling me these teams are what, 4-2 or
These teams are either 3-3 or 4-2.
Let me see what we got here. Because now I'm genuinely interested.
While you do that, let me just check where the camera's at.
I was just about to ask you that, dude. Yeah, John.
Oh my God, that was 45 minutes?
Shut up.